Before we go any further, look at the nearest source of light around you. Now imagine it disappearing, not metaphorically, not spiritually, literally. No sunrise tomorrow, no warmth, no rhythm, no pulse guiding the world. Everything you call normal would collapse in silence. What you are about to hear is not a poetic metaphor about light and divinity. It is a confrontation, because there is a force that has been shaping every heartbeat, every hormone, every breath you have taken since the first morning of your life. And it does not require your belief, it requires your attention. We were taught to see the sun as a burning sphere of gas suspended in emptiness, a celestial object, a nuclear reaction. But what if that description is incomplete? What if the sun is not only the physical center of our solar system, but the organizing intelligence behind biological rhythm, psychological clarity, and even spiritual perception? Before laws, religions, or governments existed, there was already a sovereign in the sky. No decrees, no punishments, no doctrine, just consequence. If you planted outside its rhythm, you starved. If you ignored its cycles, you suffered. Its authority was not imposed, it was structural. Ancient civilizations understood this in a way we no longer do. The Egyptians aligned temples to capture specific rays at solstices. The Vedic sages timed rituals to celestial transitions. The Maya built entire cities as astronomical instruments. Different continents, no contact, yet the same orientation, the same reverence. Coincidence or memory? The Egyptians spoke of Ma'at, cosmic order, embodied through the solar principle, not merely worship, but alignment. The sun was not just light, it was law, not moral law, but rhythmic law. And here is the uncomfortable question. If the sun governs biological life so precisely, why did we stop treating it as a teacher? Perhaps because it cannot be monopolized. It rises for everyone, believer or skeptic, rich or poor. It cannot be owned, branded, or intermediated, and systems of control prefer mediators. But the sun never needed one. It regulates your circadian rhythm through light, entering the retina and activating the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock of your brain. That single activation triggers cascades: cortisol at optimal levels in the morning, serotonin rising, dopamine stabilizing. At night, melatonin flows in darkness, restoring your cells. This is not mysticism, it is neurobiology, and yet ancient traditions described this long before modern neuroscience could measure it. They spoke of the pineal gland as a gateway, the inner eye responsive to light. Today, we know it reacts profoundly to photic input, influencing sleep, mood, and hormonal balance. But here's the deeper layer. Light is not just illumination, it is information. Modern research into photobiomodulation shows that specific light frequencies stimulate mitochondrial repair, influence cellular regeneration, and even affect gene expression. Your DNA responds to light. Your biological code recalibrates according to what it receives. So ask yourself, if your genetic expression shifts according to solar exposure, what happens when you replace the sun with LEDs and screens? When you wake to alarms instead of dawn? When you sleep against your natural rhythm? You survive, but are you synchronized? This is where the psychological symptoms of modern life enter the conversation. Rising anxiety, chronic fatigue, insomnia, depression, autoimmune disorders. We treat them as isolated pathologies, but what if they are signs of desynchronization? An instrument still playing, but out of tune. Ancient cultures did not treat sunrise as a beautiful backdrop for photography. They treated it as initiation. Dawn light carries a unique spectral composition, soft infrared and red frequencies that do not repeat in the same way later in the day. During that window, the human body is especially receptive. This is why traditions across continents instructed the same practice. Face the sunrise, eyes relaxed, breath steady, feet grounded. No dogma, technique, engineering of consciousness. And here's the pattern break. This costs nothing. No institution grants you access. No credential required. The sun appears every day, offering recalibration freely, but almost no one shows up. We search for complex awakening methods, hidden techniques, secret doctrines, while ignoring the most obvious portal in existence. Now let's go deeper. Symbols. Before language became linear and abstract, humans thought in symbols, and the most powerful symbol across civilizations was always solar. The circle with a point at the center, the cross aligned with cardinal directions, the halo behind sacred figures. These were not decorative, they were maps. Take the narrative of light dying and rising again. 3 days of darkness at the winter solstice before the sun begins its ascent. 12 companions corresponding to zodiacal divisions. Equinox balance between light and shadow. Myth or astronomical encoding. When symbolic literacy is lost, stories become dogma. Ritual becomes repetition without understanding. The image remains, but the meaning dissolves. And when meaning dissolves, disorientation follows. Look around. We are saturated with imagery, yet starved for coherence. Bombarded with stimulation, yet disconnected from direction. It feels like something essential has gone silent. But perhaps the sun has not gone silent. Perhaps we stopped listening. Here is another interruption. Close your eyes for a moment. Not physically, but inwardly. Remember the last time you witnessed a sunrise in silence. Not through a window, not while scrolling. Fully present. There is a shift that occurs. Not dramatic, not cinematic. Ordered, as if something inside aligns with something outside. That alignment is not imagination. It is resonance. Your internal clock recalibrating with the external source that has governed life for billions of years. You were not designed to live under artificial constellations of ceiling lights. You were designed to move with cycles. And when you do, clarity returns. Sleep deepens. Mood stabilizes. Intuition sharpens. Not because of belief, because of biology. Now let's address the bold idea directly. Is the sun a conscious being? That question may be less important than this one. Are you conscious enough to perceive the intelligence embedded in its rhythm? Consciousness does not always mean personality. It can mean order, self-organizing coherence, a system so precise that deviation produces measurable consequence. The sun organizes oceans, winds, crops, hormones, reproductive cycles, and neurological states without negotiation. If that is not intelligence in structure, what is? The deeper invitation here is not worship. It is participation. To stand at dawn and receive light without distraction. To allow your nervous system to recalibrate. To remember that awakening may be less about acquiring knowledge and more about restoring rhythm. You do not need to accept every symbolic interpretation. You do not need to romanticize ancient cultures. You only need to experiment. 10 seconds at sunrise, then 20, then a minute. Observe what changes over weeks. Your body will respond before your belief system does. And here is something personal. The first time I deliberately chose to greet the sunrise in silence, I expected nothing. No mystical visions, no revelation. What I experienced was simpler and more destabilizing. Order. A quiet sense that reality was not chaotic, only misaligned in my perception. That by adjusting my position, the noise softened. I was not becoming more spiritual. I was becoming more coherent. That is what I wish for you. Not ideology, experience. Because when you align with the sun, you do not escape reality. You enter it more fully. The universe communicates daily through light. It does not shout. It does not demand. It simply rises. The real question is not whether the sun is sacred. The question is whether you are present. If something inside you stirred while listening to this, even subtly, then the process has already begun. Tomorrow, the dawn will return. It always does. And when it does, you will face a simple decision. Turn away or turn toward, because every transformation begins with showing up. The light is already there. The only missing element is you.